I'm back. This is JIlliana at Ranicar-Breese, and I'm back with Rabbi Pesach for the final episode, number 3. Go ahead, please, and tell me what Chabad is doing in Brighton.
Okay, so part of the philosophy of Chabad Lubavitch is to reach out, to spread. Now, I would say this in the most positive terms, to spread the teachings of the Torah to all Jews wherever they may be. Now, you mentioned to me when I was interviewing you early on that you have traveled to certain countries and perhaps in places where you might have been surprised to find any real Jewish life. In most of those places, the Jewish life was around the local Chabad rabbi.
Correct.
So you can ask yourself a question. You also mentioned to me a little bit you had some dealings with people in Stamford Hill. Now, as a religious Jew with a beard and a yarmulke, you might say, well, what on earth are you doing in Brighton? What on earth are you doing in some other small town in Greece where there isn't a Jew in sight? Why aren't you living in Brooklyn or in Jerusalem or in Stamford Hill? Why?
Well, there are too many of them.
Well, no, but you can say birds of a feather flock together. You know, as a Jew, I would need to have my kosher facilities, my schools, my synagogues, right? You don't necessarily want to go live in a diaspora within a diaspora. And yet, you will find people there. Why are they there? Who brought about, who inspired them to be there? And that is very much part of the Chabad Lubavitch philosophy. To go out. If there are Jews in different places, we should do what we can to help them. We should come to a place and look at the needs of the people who are there. And yes, I must tell you, it's not an easy thing. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet, and for one moment am I trying to do that. But it has its challenges. You know, to bring up children in a place where they don't have other friends who are like-minded, to get your kosher facility, your kosher needs.
Yeah.
So, although Brighton is not a million miles away from London,
Brighton has a declining Jewish...
if you went, for example, to Uganda, to Kampala, or to Lagos, or to Kinshasa, or to Kathmandu, or Ho Chi Minh City, the Jewish life, there is a million miles away from anything really substantial, and yet people are still living there. And that has to do with the way in which all of us have been inspired and encouraged to do so in our generation, by the Lubavitcher Rebbe.
Yeah.
The Lubavitcher Rebbe was born in Russia, and he married the daughter of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneer's son passed away in 1950. When he passed away, his son-in-law, who is the present Lubavitcher Rebbe, he took over as the inspiration, as the ideologue, as the encourager for the expansion of the activities of Lubavitch throughout the world. And 31 years ago, my wife and I was a rabbi in Sale in South Manchester. And we decided, we wanted something maybe a bit more adventurous, maybe a bit more exciting, for what I don't even recall exactly.
I've lived in Manchester.
In Manchester.
A long, long time ago.
And we asked the Lubavitcher Rebbe for his blessing. We identified Brighton as a possible place which we could have an input, which we could have an impact. And he gave us his blessing. He said,
and how many years ago was that?
31 years ago.
Unbelievable.
So 31 years ago, my wife, myself, and at that time we had 3 children, relocated to Brighton. What was the aim of doing so? Was to spy out the land, to see what the community needed.
We're an elderly community.
Well, that's where I don't agree with you. There are so many young people, you see. That is the perception. Oh. You have to go out and get those people, maybe elderly people coming to the synagogues. But why aren't young people coming to the synagogue? Why aren't people engaging more in the Judaism?
They are going to be building a new synagogue, aren't they?
Yes. Well,
a community centre.
Well, yes, please God, that. But whether or not, at the end of the day, it's not about buildings. It's about people. It's about connecting with people. Yeah. So what do? We've been here. We try and engage with people on the level that they're at. I would say that a very important part of our attitude is to be non-judgmental. I don't know where people are coming from or what they're doing. Whatever it is, we welcome them, we encourage them, and we try to be there for them, whether it's students on campus or whether it's the hospital or whether it's in the prison or whether it's just somebody locally who needs a hand or a bit of inspiration or somebody wants to connect. Whatever we whatever is needed and whenever we are needed, we would hope that we are there for every single Jewish person in the Brighton Hove area. We are not only looking at Orthodox people or Reformed people. There are many, many, many people who are unaffiliated, who wouldn't consider themselves to be Reformed, Orthodox or anything else. And we are there, and in very many instances, we are their connection. Now look at us two sitting over here today. How did we meet? I remember that I think we had a Hanukkah dinner, and you probably saw it advertised wherever it was. And
the Sussex Jewish News.
Sussex Jewish News, and you decided to come. So, you know, and that's what we're doing all the time. Friday nights and Shabbos lunchtime, we always have a lot of guests around our table, and many of those people are perhaps unaffiliated, and their connection with us is just that. It's a connection, and we take them who they are, and we try to encourage them. We try to do this, try to do that. That's what we are busy doing 24/7. We don't even stop on Shabbos.
I thought you weren't meant to answer the telephone on Shabbos.
Oh, I don't answer the telephone on Shabbos, but connecting and communicating with people 24/7.
Well, thank you very much,
Okay.
Rabbi, and I look forward to attending one of your dinners.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.